Hello everyone, this is Gorax. What an exciting day it's going to be on Wednesday. On top of the release of new champion unit, Hell Baron, we will also be able to recruit first 3rd generation hero, Kyrre. Kyrre is a first hero that will buff 2 factions, Rampart and Conflux. Her skills are all about buffing your units and keeping them alive thanks to vitality protection and multiple support spells. Currently, Rampart is in top 4 factions with Melodia, while Conflux struggles a little due to no representation, but is a solid under Anion, losing only to the top 3 meta teams. Will Kyrre put both factions higher on the list? And if so, which formation would work best with her? In this preview video, I'll try to show you as much as possible. However, keep in mind what you see is only a small portion of all the fights that I did. First, we will start with standard Rampart formation against Inferno, which baseline you can remember from Hell Baron video. Running Melodia again, just with the global buff from Kyrre, really improved the team. Replacing Melodia with Kyrre was surprisingly not a big improvement in this scenario. There is just so much damage on the Inferno team, but by just adding Kotos, I was able to improve my chance of winning. I also tried adding Light Dragon instead of Seraph, but the result was the same and I was losing the fights. Now, the time to play more conflux oriented time, and I could already see an improvement. The fights were much closer and winnable. Next, I added even more conflux units such as an Oracle and Leprechaun tank, and the fights become really one-sided. I even experimented with charging Leprechaun and was still able to win despite it dying rather early. I have been prizing conflux units recently, and Kyrre really puts them in a spotlight as under her flag they are really strong, which these scenarios show. Now that we know how Kyrre does with middle of the pack faction, let's try it against the top dog Alamar. Melodia into Alamar with weaker tanks, since the release of the Red Dragon Second Awaken can go both ways. However, with just global, I was able to win way more fights than previously. Kyrre was way out of league for this Alamar with such a strong performance that I had to use the stronger tanks just to be able to make the gap smaller. With this change, Alamar could score a win here and there, but again, Evil Sorcerer's banner is yet to come. So how does Conflux do against Alamar? Well, with no healer and no immunity beside the vitality protection, you can see that the backline barely survived, but it was enough to take down the mighty Warlock. However, this really shows the issues this formation might face against a stronger variant, so I had to fix it by replacing Oracle with Priest. When I have done that, even the stronger Alamar could not withstand the punishment conflux units and Dragon Watcher were dealing. I even tried various units just to see how solid it is. At this point, I had a way better understanding of what makes Kyrre strong, and there was still a way to improve this team. When it comes to fights against Darmith, sadly Melodia and Rampart stand no chance in the current meta, so how will Kyrre impact these fights? We can see that the team still struggles, especially against melee Naga, while maybe few upgrades like Kotos could change the outcome against the range Naga. On the other hand, the Conflux team was not only able to draw out fights, but with the addition of Kotos, they were victorious, showing the potential of the faction that everyone is laughing at. I believe this scenario best shows the huge difference between standard Rampart team and the Conflux Rampart. Fights between Cove and Rampart are still close despite Kraken. However, just with the global buff, I could see that it is leaning towards Rampart more than Cove. Kyrre was having a good time as well, only to lose when the castle casters started to fall, making the team crumble under the pressure coming from Regnant Archer and her crew. On the other hand, Conflux Rampart had no issues of defeating Samafi in almost all scenarios despite running no immunity such as Judy or Fawn. In the end, I believe Kyrre is a great addition to Rampart, but even better for Conflux mains. She can utilize the long forgotten units such as Oracle and Leprechaun and compete against the top tier teams with just Priest and Kotos. What are your thoughts? Please share them in the comment section. If you did enjoy this short preview, make sure to click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel for more Era of Chaos content. Thank you for watching, stay safe, bye!